at least twice, I think actually maybe 3 times already.
Yeah.
And in event, you understand that you're under oath.
Yes, I do.
Yes, great. So Mr. Vanderbilt, Detective Torres is now your witness for direct again.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
During the break, did we look at photographs on People's 24, which was some of the scene photos from Al between second and third?
Yes, it was.
Specifically, did we look at a photo of what's been known as Kimberly Gilly's tent?
Yes.
And from the photos, could you see what the make and model of that particular tent was?
Yes, I could.
And so here we have set up in the courtroom, People's 29, are you able to see the tent?
Yes.
And what is the make and model of this giant tent in the courtroom?
Flatwood 2-4.
And what's the manufacturer?
That is a Coleman.
And so is this the same make model tent as Kimberly Gilly's tent?
Yes.
Is it in fact the same color scheme as Kimberly Gilly's tent?
Yes.
And so I want to ask you about kind of the dimensions of the tent. When you saw the, well, sorry, I want to ask you about the makeup of the tent first, and then I'll ask you about some of the dimensions. Do you see this gray part of the tent versus the maroon portion?
Yes.
What is the gray portion and what is the maroon portion?
That is the rainfly, is the gray portion. The maroon portion is the actual side wall of the tent.
And so is the rainfly separate or detachable from the rest of the tent?
Yes.
And so when you were at the scene in Second and L and you're looking at Kimberly Gilly's tent, did you see the tears and or cut marks in the tent?
Yes.
And where were they?
From my recollection, around the center area of the tent, about, for my height, around mid chest, like bottom rib cage, down to about, for my estimation, about my ankles. So an area of maybe 3-ish feet.
Well, let me ask you this. Were any of the cuts below the rainfly? Or, sorry, in the rainfly?
You know, I do not recall.
Referring to photographs of the tent refreshment.
Yes, it would.
And first one, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
So I have People's 24.
No. Okay.
So I have People 24, and I'm showing you image ending in 975. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
Are is there any cuts or tears to the rainfly?
No.
And so, and the tent was equipped with the rainfly at the time?
Yes.
And so, given that there is no cuts in the rainfly, can you show us on this tent where the cuts and or tears you saw?
Yes, if I may approach.
Okay, that's fine. Absolutely, counsel.
So there was a cut that led from about mid-range up here down, and then another side cut this direction from right to left, but there's also one in the middle up to down.
Now, in the setup that we have here in the courtroom, all 4 corners of the rainfly are connected. In the photos, we can see that kind of one was loose.
Yes.
Looking at the photograph of the tent, did the one loose rainfly strap greatly alter the height of the rainfly as it was on the tent?
Yes. it was skewed up to about here. A little bit lower to about there. It was at an angle.
So do you see this black portion that's kind of a see-through mesh on there?
Yes.
Was it skewed up so that you could see any portion of that?
No.
Okay, so the highest it would have been skewed up is in a location where you still could not see this black mesh.
Yes.
Okay, so given that then, what is the height that the knife would have gone through the tent, given the rainfly was either on fully or may have been with one strap loose at the time?
We'll put it about 2 feet high, maybe 2.5.
All right, and so otherwise it would have to come under the rainfly to do it.
Yes.
Understood. Now, is this tent accurate as far as the dimensions of the tent that Ms. Gilly was in?
Yes.
So I'm going to remove the rainfly and we'll rotate the tent. If you can do me a favor and just turn the tent so that the front faces.
Absolutely.
So now that we have the front facing the jury, is this the entrance to the tent?
There? No. This is the entrance.
So the part with the zipper that's facing the jury is the entrance?
Yes, this is the entrance to the tent.
All right, and with respect to the entrance, what side of the tent were the cut / or tear marks that you observed?
It would be, if you're looking at the front door of the tent, it is the left side of the tent where the tears were.
So if we rotate it to the left, and we're looking at the same side that was facing the jury before.
Yes.
I don't have any additional questions.
Okay, all right, thank you. Mr. Hutchinson, any cross?
Yes. So, sir, when the fly was on,
Yes.
there was a black strap that was pulled down, connecting to the bottom.
Yes. This side.
And that pulled the rain fly, the rain fly, it pulled it tight.
Yes, it created tension.
Okay. Did you set up this tent?
This tent?
Yes.
No.
Who set it up?
This tent here?
Yeah.
I'm assuming it was council.
Okay. Which council are you referring to?
Fritz Fender.
Okay. So you weren't present when you set it up?
No.
You came into court and you saw this tent here, correct?
Yes.
And you commented to him, I thought you were going to bring in the real tent.
Yes, I did.
Okay. By real tent, you're actually referring to the one that Kimberly Gilly had.
The original tent, yes.
Okay. Why did you think he was going to bring in the real tent?
Well, hold on. Can I have you sit back down?
All right.
My bad. That's true.
So, Mr. Hutchinson, you need to stand though, that tent's gonna be put
Can we just move it back this way for now?
Yeah, let's move it back.
Got it, Fritz?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Vanderhook, I appreciate it.
Repeat the question.
You commented when you saw this, I thought you were going to bring in the real tent.
Yes.
Why did you believe he was going to bring in the real tent?
With the other items that were presented at court, there were the original items that I collected as evidence.
Okay. You've never seen this tent before today?
That tent?
Yes.
No.
You didn't purchase it?
No.
So your testimony that it's the exact same tent with the exact same dimensions is based on your eyeball view and comparing it with the photos, correct?
Yes.
But the real tent is still in evidence.
Yes.
You have that.
I physically?
Well, it's at the Davis Police Department.
Yes, my estimation is at the Davis Police Department.
And even though some samples have been taken from it, it can still be set up.
Yes, it can be.
Maybe a little bit difficult. Are you like me, that you have difficulty setting up a tent, period?
No, well, no, it's not that. It's not.
Other-
There's other reasons. Essentially, due to biohazard, that's why I'm hesitant.
But physically, it can still be set up.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And even if you didn't want to bring it into court, you could set it up at the Davis Police Department and take video or photographs of it.
I could. I
And
believe so,
that would
yes.
eliminate the biohazard issue.
Yes.
But you brought other items into court that presented biohazard issues, correct?
Yes.
You brought all of Mr. Bro's clothing.
Yes.
You brought all of Mr. Abu Najim's clothing. Or did you bring Mr. Abu Najim's clothing?
No.
You do have that, though.
I believe so, yes.
And Mr. Bro's clothing had much more blood than the tent. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
So, and you described the cuts to the tent. You arrived the following morning.
Yes.
And approximately what time was that?
It was around 7:40 to 7:45 in the morning.
And so when you first saw the cuts to the side of the tent, you saw a vertical cut and a horizontal cut.
Yes.
You have no personal knowledge who made those cuts.
No.
Okay. You assumed it was done by the person who had stabbed Miss Guillory. That was your assumption, right?
Yes.
So you assume the person who stabbed Miss Guillory made one slicing motion down vertically and another slicing motion horizontally.
Yes. Higher up than where your hand motion, but yes.
Did anyone ever advise you that immediately after Miss Guillory was stabbed, when her people next door came to the scene and the suspect was already gone, that the hole in the tent was simply basically a puncture wound the size of a tissue?
No.
No one ever told you that?
No.
That's been marked
This is a defense exhibit F.
for the record.
And so, sir, you don't know if, in order to get Miss Guillory out of the tent, some other person, maybe a first responder, cut the tent completely. You have no information if that happened, correct?
No.
Until this day, it's been your assumption that the person who made the cut marks was the person who stabbed Miss Guillory.
Yes.
Now, sir, I'd like to show you, is the tent blocking screen?
I don't know until you put the screen up, and then we'll ask the jury to take it.
I can take it down.
We'll put a picture up, and then, I think it's gonna block it. You offered, Mr. Vanderbilt, it just takes a second.
Yeah.
We're done.
So I'm showing you what's been marked People's Exhibit 24? 24. This is photo 7496984. Sir, do you recognize this?
Yes.
Now, this photograph was taken after you'd already arrived at the location.
No.
Well, the grid that has been set up, did you set up that grid or did somebody else do it?
I set it up.
Okay, so if the grid is the grid visible in this?
Yes.
So this photograph was taken sometime after you arrived at the location, given that the grid is set up.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, I'm probably confused now. I apologize.
Yeah.
When you first arrived, there was no grid on the tent.
Yes.
You created this grid.
Yes.
You created it with, you didn't say string, what did you say it was?
Lanyard string?
Lanyard string. And you used standard issue binder clips to hold that lanyard string in place.
Yes.
And you clipped the binder clips to the tent.
Yes.
And as you can see, these binder clips on both sides are clipping the rainfly to the poles.
Yes.
It was not like that when you appeared.
No.
There was nothing clipping the rainfly to the poles.
No.
And again, on the right side, you can see here the strap that holds the rainfly to the ground. That is pulled, is connected to the ground on that
Yes, with tension.
with tension. If you know, can you adjust the tension on these tents?
I don't recall if you can.
And by adjust the tension, you can make it tighter or looser depending on how you set it up.
Yes.
But on this side, the strap is not connected to the bottom.
Yes, not connected to the bottom.
So there's no tension.
No tension.
The black strap is going into the tent.
Yes.
It's hanging loose.
Yes.
And you can see that the rainfly goes up on your right side. It goes up further on the right side than it does on the left.
Yes.
And you have no personal knowledge as to what condition that rainfly was before you arrived.
No, I don't.
Did just 1 second, sir. And who took these pictures? Do you remember?
Go back to them, please.
I want you to plug back in.
Oh, sorry.
Or could you tell me the item number from the case for the evidence item?
I can't, sir, sorry.
It would either have been ERT member Shannon Hall, which I believe those photos were ERT Shannon Hall, because the other set of photos were handled by Sac Sheriff Department ERT member Lopes.
And that was Mr. Lopes?
Lopes.
Mr. Lopes arrived after Ms. Hall.
Yes.
Did you arrive before Ms. Hall?
With Miss Hall.
But it appears you set up the grid on the tent before Ms. Hall started taking pictures.
I believe we did initial photographs first to show the condition of the scene unaltered. Then when I set up the grid, had her continue with photographs. from my recollection.
So you believe there should be pictures without the grid?
There should be pictures, yes, without the grid.
Taken by Ms. Hall?
I believe so, yes.
I'm
If I could.
not going to have you go through every picture, but um, just a moment. Can you pull it back up? I'm showing you what's been marked. This is again People's Exhibit 24. This is photo 749-8061. Correct?
Yes. Yes, it is.
But this appears to be a close-up of the puncture or cut to the tent.
Yes.
But we still see the green lanyard string.
Green lanyard string, yes.
So it appears, and now I'm showing you photo 064. Once again, we still see the string.
Yes.
Photo 067, still see the string.
Yes.
And photo 070, still see the string.
Yes.
Prior to Ms. Hall beginning taking photos, to your knowledge, did anyone else take photos prior to that of the tent?
Not to my knowledge, no.
I have nothing further. Thank you, sir.
Mm.
We'll see you again.
Yeah, no
Thank
good.
you, Mr. Vanderhook.
Thank you, sir.
Anything on the tent? Anything else?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Sir, what about video? Was there a video?
Oh, yes.
And who took the video?
If I could look at my notes to refresh my recollection.
If that would help, assist.
Yes, it would. 1983. I'm refreshed. I took video of the scene.
Understood.
Yeah.
I'm approaching what's been marked as People's 51. And there's a single video on People's 51. I'm going to open it for you and then ask you some questions about it. Can you see People's 51?
Yes.
Is this the video you shot at the scene?
Yes.
And does it fairly and accurately depict the scene at the time?
Yes.
May I publish, Your Honor?
Okay. Are we gonna see something we haven't seen in the pictures? I mean, I feel like I'm up in 352 on this.
This is before the.
Oh, before the grid, okay, Defense was asking about it, so, yeah.
Okay, sir, People's 51, just play this video for you.
4 minutes?
Exterior scene, L Street between 2nd and 3rd Street,
So this is
adjacent to the bricked-in PG&E yard. Case number 23-1983.
there's a voice
Videographer.
on the video. Whose voice is
Corporal Alex
That's my voice.
May 2nd, 1983.
Alright, so I'm gonna pause the video at 34 seconds, and I'm gonna just advance a little bit towards, or closer to the tent. And so I advance it to the 1 minute mark, and I'm gonna resume playing from there. pause it at 1:58 and advance it until we can get to the 10 again. And we'll resume at 2:48. I'm gonna stop it at 3:46. Were you able to see that, sir?
Yes.
So, moving the video just a little bit forward to 3:30 and stopping it at that point, are you able to see that same kind of loose black rainfly strap that was talked about earlier?
Yes, this one right here that I'm indicating with the laser.
And is this video of the tent before any kind of grid was applied to the tent?
Yes.
And so this is the same kind of loose strap that you and I talked about when we were looking at the demonstrative tent.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to take that down. I just have a couple follow-up questions relating to the tent at Davis PD, the actual tent from the scene.
Yes.
Is it in one piece?
No.
Do you recall how many different items it was booked as in evidence?
From my recollection, minimum 4, but I believe 5 different separate items.
Okay, and it's just the tent with the rainfly, why is it being booked as so many different items?
Well, you have the actual physical tent itself. However, the face that was processed for DNA and fingerprinting, we cut away those sections and individually packaged them. So those sections, I believe, were split off into 4 pieces. And then with the rainfly, that'd be 5. And then the tent would be 6.
So you cut out an entire side of the tent and booked them as separate items.
Yes.
And so if we did bring the tent in and set it up, it would not appear as it did at that time.
No.
No additional questions.
Thank you, counsel.
Yes, we put back up.
Are you putting a picture, or do you want the courtesy of the video?
I have the video.
Okay, so,
Say it again, Mr. Moore.
51.
Sir, you remember when the tent that was set up by Mr. Van?
Yeah.
Asked you to give an estimate of the height on that tent?
Yes.
What did you say, about 2 feet?
No, not the height of the tent, the height of the zip, how high the rainfly was above the ground.
And what was the estimate you gave?
2.5 feet, somewhere around there, based on that setup.
Looking at this video,
Mm-hmm.
is the rainfly that Mr. Vanderhook set up an accurate depiction of the height of the rainfly in the video that you first saw? Or is the rainfly in the video noticeably higher?
It is noticeably higher.
I have nothing further, thank you.
okay, anything on that?
When we talked about the mesh window, is it higher than the mesh window?
Yes, it is. It's higher than mesh window because the tent that was set up has a mesh window. I don't believe this one has a mesh window.
Okay,
Unless it's higher up, I don't see. But
good question, hang on.
because,
And so I'm going to put it back on the screen, the video, and I'm going to take it to,
there's a slight mesh. Yeah.
pause
Oh, there it
at
is. All right.
37 seconds.
Mhm.
Is there a mesh window?
There is, yes, it is.
Okay, so this tent and the demonstration are the same?
Yes.
Okay, nothing further.
Okay, listen, that's a very narrow redirect.
Mm.
So we're almost done here.
I understand.
All right.
Doesn't it appear that the mesh window in this is higher than the tent that Mr. Van Hook set up?
Yes, it also appears that maybe the two legs on the left and right side are closer than the, how it was set up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so it may be that this is close to the same tent, but it's actually a little bit different than Miss Giller's tent.
It's possible.
You've never inspected the two tents to determine if there's any differences.
No.
Nothing.
Okay, that's it. We're done.
Yes.
All right.
I figured.
Torres, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, have a great day. I'm assuming you're not being recalled today. So if you are subject to recall. Thank you, sir. Okay, Mr. Demore, do you have a witness you'd like to call?
You're calling one this one.
This one, we'll get her back on. When she was last on, she located it for us on a map, Blue Creek. Ms. Schwinn, go ahead and take the witness stand. Thank you again for your patience. Just focusing the